This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. Thanks for watching, as always, on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our affiliates across the country. We'll get door number 1, door number 2 coming up in this hour. We're going to compare similar prices in different markets. Great time of year to do that. Exploring bets to make. The great Linda Cohn on the NHL coming up in 30 minutes. Lou Finocchiaro's on the program in about 90 from right now. He's going to talk NHL and College World Series, and I have to UCLA is the number 1 team in the country. Do you have the sheet on you by chance? Like, what were they laying today before the game? They're tied at 2 right now with St. Mary's in the 6th. They're currently a $7 favorite in this game. Before it started,
I did not see that.
I mean, they were laying 5.5 runs.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You look at some of these scores, like Auburn's down to Milwaukee 13-8 right now in the 9th inning. And yet, like you flip it, Texas, they were up 18-0 last check today.
Okay.
My God.
Call it. That's enough of that.
Yeah.
Man.
But that would be what a wake-up call that could be to UCLA if they would actually go on and lose this game right now. It's squeaky bum time right now for the Bruins, Pauly.
Sure. Tomorrow we start the day with the Champions League matchup to decide it all. PSG against Arsenal in 90 minutes. PSG plus 140. Arsenal plus 210. Draw plus 230. The total is 2.5. And for more on this with picks and props, we catch up with our old friend Nigel Seeley. Take it away, Nigel.
Hi there, Mitch and Pauly and everyone at VSiN. It's Nigel Seeley here, and I've been asked to do a little preview on what is going to be an incredible weekend of sport over here in Europe with the Champions League final and the third round action at the French Open tennis, which has been blown wide open after Yannick Sinner's shock departure yesterday. Let's start with the Champions League final in Budapest, where Arsenal play Paris Saint-Germain. I don't think you can get a more different couple of styles of play for two teams going head-to-head in a major final. We've got Paris Saint-Germain, the flamboyant French side, the league champions in Ligue 1, score goals for fun, have all the creative flair, and you've got this Arsenal side who keep clean sheets, score from set pieces, and win ugly. Where is the match going to go? I think it's a very, very hard betting event to have. I think the outcome of the match is very, very difficult. Plus 130 is the price for Paris Saint-Germain to win in 90 minutes. Remember, 90 minutes only if you want to bet on that market. And Arsenal are a little bit bigger than 2-1 with the draw at around about plus 240. I've got a sneaky feeling that Arsenal might do this. I don't know why, but I feel they might have the edge. Looking at the statistics, I mean, it's quite incredible to see how different the two teams are. Paris Saint-Germain are bidding to become only the second team in history to defend the Champions League title, retain the Champions League title behind Real Madrid. And Arsenal are looking to win the title for the first time. Arsenal will be the 25th side to win the Champions League. And they've played the most Champions League games without winning the famous trophy, 225. Looking at the stats, Paris Saint-Germain, if they score one more goal, they would have scored 45 goals in the tournament, which is the best of any team in Champions League history. And if Arsenal keep a clean sheet, they've got 10 clean sheets in the tournament, so 10 shutouts, which would be the highest amount of shutouts in the tournament as well. So it's the best attack against the best defence. So what goes? What gives? Well, I think the first thing I like here is I want to go unders. I really think the unders could be the way to go. It's quite a hot day, and as I've seen in some of the matches over here in Europe, we've had a bit of a hot weather at the moment. The unders have definitely been coming in. Minus 125 is under 2.5 goals. Let's look at the last 7 Champions League finals. Both teams to score no has been cashing in all 7 of them. And a team to win to nil has been cashed in 7. In 6 of the last 7, under 2.5 goals has cashed. The only time that didn't cash was last year when Paris Saint-Germain beat Inter Milan 5-0. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I expect it to be tight, and if it gets tight, it could be one on set pieces where Arsenal are very, very strong. I'm going to go for Arsenal to win this. I'm going to go for Arsenal to win it 1-0. Going to go for them to lift the trophy. But I think the best bet is under 2.5 goals. I don't think anything will give against two sides full of confidence, both domestic champions, Both of them, the best teams in Europe this year. Arsenal, the only team unbeaten in the Champions League this year. And I think their name might be on the trophy. Not a strong bet, but I just feel that Arsenal might win it. My best bet, though, under 2.5 goals. That is Saturday from Budapest. I think that match kicks off at 12 o'clock Eastern time, so you've got plenty of time to check out and also read my preview of it on the VSiN website. Let's move on to the tennis action. Yesterday, we saw the most incredible in-running play ever. The meltdown from Yannick Sinner, where he got beat by Juan-Manuel Cerundolo, matched at 1,000-1 over here, Sinner. It's incredible that the world #1 tennis player can't play in hot weather. I mean, I've never heard anything like it, but that is what you've got here. You've got a guy cramping up, which has blown open the men's draw in its top half. And it's the top half matches that are playing tomorrow. If you look at the matches, there isn't really many matches that you would turn around and say, well, that's a really good match. That's a great match, because nobody would expect it to be in this draw. If you look at the draw, only one player remaining in the draw he's playing now is Novak Djokovic, who's won a major, and only one player in the top half of the draw has ever been into a final of a major, and that is Matteo Berrettini. Looking at the matches, I don't think there's really much value, because I think these matches are really, really hard to come by. I think Landaluce might beat Cerundolo. I think Cerundolo's going to be the man in the moment. All the media attention is going to be on him after he beat Yannick Sinner. They'll probably put him on one of the courts, number 7 or something, away from the limelight. And Martin Landaluce, who's come through 2 back-to-back 5-set matches, if he's got anything in the tank, I think it could be a perfect time to face Juan-Manuel Cerundolo, who's going to have all the media attention on him. And my strategy in tennis is when someone has a big win, like a career-defining win, like a media win, like the win over Sinner yesterday, I think they're a fade the next round. So Landaluce at +125, I think that could be a decent win. His brother Cerundolo is in action as well. Francisco Cerundolo against Zavada, the American. He's -1,400. That is far, far too short. I think Zavada could give him problems. Caboli will play Teen. Caboli, I think, could be the man to come through the top half of the draw. He's 33-1 to win the title as we speak now. Lerner Tien has come through 2 back-to-back 5-setters. Berrettini v Comensana. Berrettini's been injured all year. Clay's never been his surface. Tomorrow is the final day of the good weather in Paris. It's going to get rainy next week. I think Comensana might give him some matches. I look at the overs in that match. Berrettini v Comensana over 37.5 games, -110. So there's a couple of picks for you tomorrow. If you look at these matches for the last 32 of a major, they were good enough to be first round matches. That's how much the tournament has been blown open. But I think the best bet is oppose Cerundolo. Juan-Manuel Cerundolo beats Sinner. Landaluce, I think, could beat him at +125. I'm going to go for over 37.5 in Berrettini and Comensana, and under 2.5 goals at -125 in the Champions League final. And I'm hoping Arsenal do it, become the 25th different side to win the Champions League. Have a good day, mates. Have yours soon. Speak to you all soon. I'll be back to preview some World Cup action. Have a good day and cash some tickets, everybody.
All right, there you go.
Yes.
Our longtime buddy, Nigel Seeley. Follow him on X, at Seeley_Nigel. What do you think of that breakdown of the Champions League finale?
Sold on the under.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
I do think PSG lifts the trophy, though. I don't know if Arsenal can score. Though they are well-disciplined, and that incredible stat, they didn't give up a penalty the whole season or something like that in the Prem that you sent over. Nuts. But
You want to play 1-0 both sides?
that's not bad.
I think that would be a play.
I don't hate that. Yeah. But that's wild what's going on with the tennis. Incredible. That is odd that he's right, that the best player in the world can't handle 90-degree weather.
Yeah, let's hear from Drew Dinsick. He was on VSiN Primetime, loves betting tennis the other night, and this was after the Sinner loss, the huge upset, explaining how he would look at the men's side.
Current prices, Alexander Zverev has taken most of the action. He would be my favorite, but I would not touch him at current price, and particularly because he has never won a slam, and he's in his own head for that. In fact, the only slam winner left in the draw right now is Djokovic. He's playing his way into form. We only saw him play one clay match in this entire run-up. He could win. This could ultimately be what he needs to get his 25th slam that he's been seeking for years and years now. But to me, I have a long shot hopeful play on Rafa Hodar, a young kid out of Spain who's 19. He doesn't know any better that he's not supposed to win this early in his career. This is his first ever French Open. He would be the youngest winner ever, so it's probably not going to happen. But I'm cheering for him on the bottom half of the draw because I can't can't bring myself to SportsVera, particularly at this price. And then on the top half of the draw, we're going to pull for American Francis Tiafoe. Brings his best tennis in best of 5. You cannot rate him using his best of 3 tour numbers. He is a grinder. He is looking in pretty decent form. And if, it is as flat as it's ever been on the top of this draw, so why not us? Francis Tiafoe, let's get to the final.
Okay, there you go. The number on Hodar, again, is down to plus 750. And he won earlier today in 5 sets.
Yeah, a fan favorite.
Sure. Well, 19 years old, he's going to dominate that,
Yep.
And again, our producer Luke has 155 to 1 on him. Okay. I'm looking.
He's facing a 21-year-old now. A lot of young guys left.
And Tiafoe goes tomorrow bright and early, just FYI. Still alive there. Okay. The other person that Drew just brought up, other tennis player. Here, I made a couple of hedge bets against my Spurs, Western Conference, did some pizza money, cross-sport parlays. On both of them, I have Iga to win the women's side. I did this when we were on vacation. Tied into Oklahoma City to win the series. And then one of the bets has Carter Hart winning the Conn Smythe. That ticket would pay 218 to 1, and the other ticket has Mitch Marner to win the Conn Smythe. That would pay about 42 to 1.
All right. See what Linda Cohn thinks coming up. Circus 2026 football contests are open. You don't have to live in Las Vegas to play. After your required in-person registration, Winner Circle Proxy handles your weekly submission so you can make your picks anywhere in the country. One trip to Vegas, play all season long from anywhere. Schedule your appointment now, winnercircleproxy.com.
All right, updated numbers in the NBA after Game 6. I don't want to fight a system that has 14 games above 500 this year in the playoffs. I'll give you those details next here on VSiN.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The great Linda Cohn joins the program coming up in 15 minutes. We'll talk NHL with her, loves the sport. Also, as Pauly said during the break, has to be a Knicks fan, right?
I would think so. Big Rangers fan. Yes.
Right. So in Game 7 tomorrow night, Thunder laying 3.5, total around 212.5 in that territory, about $1.50, $1.60 on the money line, obviously down from where it was at to begin the series. They're down a couple of guys. I totally agree with what you said. I don't even know why they trotted Jalen Williams out there last night. It felt like that was maybe a desperation move just to try to finish off the Spurs. So it would not go to a Game 7, but it kind of backfired, and he was a negative pretty much the entire game.
Right.
So Raheem Palmer joined the show earlier, and if you missed it, you can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast. Now, he's taking Spurs first quarter and had a great reason why. I would encourage you to go back and listen to that. However, the trends this year in the playoffs alone point towards Oklahoma City in a big-time way. So when a team is off a loss and they're favored in the next game, much like the Thunder are tomorrow night, those teams are now 21-7-1 this postseason, 98-51-5 since 2021, thanks to BetterDay.com for the numbers there. How would you look at that? His point was, Wembanyama, other than Game 5, they are winning the Wembanyama minutes throughout the entire series.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to play 8-ish minutes in the first quarter, and they have been scoring a lot of points in every first quarter. So that's why he's taken the half a point with the Spurs there.
I just don't know what happened Game 5. Anyone can have an off game. That was bizarre what transpired, but he responded in a big way and also owned it that, hey, I should have talked to the media afterwards. So they have the best player. I know they're kicking themselves. Definitely Game 5. I could also argue Game 3 when you come out and you're up 15-0. Although the bench for OKC was fantastic.
Yes, they were.
But when the job that they're doing, and Brian Windhorst had a great line about it's Area 51, the defense that they're playing on this guy. On the floor, they're plus 55 with Wemby. They're minus 37 off. SGA off plus 10, on minus 28. Caruso on plus 38, off minus 56. So it's even more ammo for if he has a big game, he could win MVP, and he's down to 15-1. I just hope it's like last night where they let him play. Don't get in the way. Bodies all over the place. Let him be physical. If it's physical, that also helps out the Spurs a lot, no doubt. And it's just with when you're talking about OKC, you can't get away from the flopping and the officiating talk. That's how it is. It's been the way for 2 years.
No, that's going to dictate how the game's going to go.
No, I know.
I mean, all you have to do is go back and look at the last two games. I mean, are we going to have 80 free throws? Or are we going to have like 20? That's a humongous difference, and I think that's also going to tie into...
Right, they took 12 free throw attempts last night in the loss.
Right, and that was, again, last night turned into a blowout. I would take that game 100 times over what we had in Game 5. Again, an all-time eyesore by that crew. I almost said a bad word there on the air, and how they let that game get out of control. So that's also, you can wait to get involved and do it live based on how the officials are, because if there are bodies flying all over the place and not getting called, okay, kind of have an idea maybe how the game's going to go as long as it's consistent for 48 minutes. What about player props? If it turns into a blowout, much like last night did.
Yeah, I couldn't. Caruso only hit 1-3. Vicious beat if you had Wemby over points. He had 28, and then they sat him. He couldn't go over 28.5. That's tough.
Well, all the Oklahoma City's players basically went under.
Well, that's the first thing. Hopefully, let's get a good game. Let's get a competitive game like the all-timer we had Game 1, and Game 2 was fantastic. But this is 7 straight games of blowouts, whether it's Eastern or Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, and the average margin of victory in this series has been 15.3 points. So again, I much like I said, now this is, people are going to probably be upset about this, but I said on the air yesterday regarding Game 6, the point spread's not going to matter. Either Oklahoma City's going to finish a job or San Antonio. The blowout factor is real, and I think I said on the air up to like 13, 14 points is possible. I'm going to abstain the same exact thing for tomorrow night. Either the Spurs are going to win this game or the Thunder are probably going to blow them out. I don't think the points are going to matter whatsoever. And they'll probably run away and win it if they do, and it's going to be by 7, 8, 10 points. That was Raheem's point about betting the under, alt unders. Like, don't just bet under 213. Like, if this game goes under for Game 7, it could go under. His number was like 190. Like, would you be stunned if the game was like 101-90 tomorrow night? I would not be. Just based on, and I know this year has been different, but the history of these Game 7s and how many times they've gone under, the total, it's 59% under since 2002. It's 45-32 overall.
They were at their best last year in the conference semis against Denver when that went 7, and they beat them 125-93.
Yeah.
But this is also a different team. Denver had several starters that were banged up, hurt. Gordon, a big one, so was Porter. Mm-hmm. And here you're down Mitchell and you're down Williams as well.
That's totally a different story.
The Spurs are in a great situation. They got to seize this opportunity.
So let's hear from VSiN host Will Hill, his strategy on player props in blowouts. I'll get to that.
Victor Wembanyama, over-under tonight was 28.5. He had 22 first-half points. He's got 24 right now, Matt. Now, I believe he's going to go to the free throw line here in just a moment. Is there going to come a time where the Spurs, as they see what the Thunder are doing, call off the dogs as well, and Victor Wembanyama doesn't get a ton of points in this fourth quarter? This is a Will Hill special. Will Hill, one of the best things he's done or taught me doing these shows is finding these blowouts and then looking for live unders on some of the star players.
All right. Well, that was prime time talking about Will Hill. That's kind of like something that you've referenced a couple times in recent weeks. Robert Downey Jr. playing 3 different roles in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, yes.
So,
yes. How did he get nominated for an Academy Award? Times have changed.
But that makes sense, right? And a lot of these books nationally will keep up player props through a majority of the game.
Yes. Yep.
So if it's drifting that
Saw
way,
that coming right.
The crazy thing is that was a 6-point game last night, like middle of the third quarter.
I thought they were in trouble. They shot so well and got off to such a great start, and you look up and it's, this isn't close. And then bam, 20-0 run. and that's it. This is also good timing. So Seth reached out yesterday. My nephew's a Knicks fan. He plays travel basketball with my son. My nephew flops around like Brunson. My son knows not to do it. 10 years old. And I referenced this yesterday on the show, but here's the clip too. Michael Wilbon, Get Up, ESPN, concerned about if OKC goes back-to-back, that kids will try to emulate SGA.
Just depends on whether they win. Winning covers all this stuff.
Yeah.
So the deodorant that covers all stink is winning. And if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes back-to-back and he's on deck and he enters next season as a two-time champion and two-time MVP, guess what? There'll be kids out in the playground learning how to flop.
Oh, no.
Listen.
Please, no.
You know what, Alan?
Please, no.
People may not.
Jay's leaving. Jay's leaving.
Jay, but you guys know I'm right.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, Jay Williams was disgusted by it.
He's talked about it all week. That network has been all over it with how they play, and they're disgusted by it. Now, and I also can't believe Adam Silver just did an interview and said he doesn't think we have a problem. And he's tone deaf, and that guy's out to lunch.
He also said that the referees, he said, could they get better? Yes, but the referees have been incredible. He used the word incredible to describe it. I'll tell you this, Sebastian just turned 2 years old. I will not allow him to play basketball if he goes out there and starts flopping when he's like 5, 6, 7 years old. And I'll get physical with him. Yeah. Hey, buddy, you want to flop? You're gonna learn from Daddy.
Yeah, well,
you're not flopping on my watch, kid.
You know, NHL had embellishing. I mean, if you're going to sit there and you got the 22% of the time this guy's on the ground after a shot, or 17% of the time, it's like, come on, you can go to review this and penalize him. It goes back where he talked tough and then did nothing with the tanking after he said he would, and then it's something you want to cut out and easy to do, where you could even challenge this stuff as well, which is an obvious flop, and he refused to even admit that it's a problem.
By the way, today, Mark Malusis on with Dave Ross, VSiN by the books. Now, I don't think Mark was doing this tongue-in-cheek. I think he was being dead serious. He explained that he's got a basketball hoop like in his driveway, and he goes out there with his kids and they play basketball. He's got a 9-year-old, Gregory, and he'll flop. And Mark's like, pal, what are you doing? He's like, come on, we watch these games. I see SGA do it all the time. He's like, you're not going to go out there and flop. He goes, Dad, it works in the NBA.
Well, Brunson does it, but SGA's the worst offender of all time. But I guess we could say Harden started.
Harden was.
But yeah, yeah. We're taking over Circa June 13th, 1-5. Game 5, NBA Finals, Brazil, Morocco, 2 other World Cup matches, open bar, all-you-can-eat food, day baseball. Don't miss out. Sign up, vsin.com/beyond the booth. Come hang out at a great spot and a great day in the world of sports in the best sports book in the world. vsin.com/beyond the booth.
Typically, middle of June might be a little bit slow. Not that day.
No way.
It's going to be a great hang. NHL up next. The great Linda Cohn on the program. How does she envision Game 5 going tonight? And her early thoughts on a possible Carolina-Vegas Stanley Cup final next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We are really looking forward to this segment as we go out to the Progressive guest line. As longtime ESPN broadcaster, lover of all things New York, Hall of Famer Linda Cohn joins the program. Linda, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Always a pleasure. Always thanks for having me. Always great.
You got it.
Game 5 tonight, Eastern Conference Finals. It's been pure domination since Montreal's win in Game 1. Does anything change tonight?
Most people think no. Call me nuts, call me crazy. I feel Montreal has rejuvenated maybe just a little bit. The big situation after watching Game 4, which was a snooze fest and total domination by Carolina, to their credit, by the way, they just can't get any shots on Freddie Anderson, right? That was been the whole theme after Game 1. And Freddie Anderson, I believe, being a former goalie, is not the best goalie on the ice. That's Carter Hart. I left in the playoffs. Jakub Dobish of Montreal has outshined Freddie Anderson, even though Freddie obviously has the 3-1 lead and is 1 win away from going to a cup final. He is vulnerable. Carolina has done Carolina things by keeping the shots on goal very low. We've all seen it. Montreal players know they have to get more shots on goal because the fans at the Bell Center in Montreal and Game 4 were saying, shoot the puck, right? They're trying. But Carolina has this, suffocating, smothering way they play. And it has really gotten under the skin of Montreal. And they're exhausted. Obviously, they've played more games than Carolina. To the Hurricanes' credit, they deserve that. They deserve the rest. But I feel, I don't know, maybe it's a gut feeling that the shots are going to get through tonight and Freddie is vulnerable. And I think we're going to see a really low scoring, could be a game that goes into overtime again.
Okay.
And then you never know. Alex Newhook would score a game winner like he does for Montreal, seems to be all the time. So I'm not giving up yet. I don't think, most people think it ends tonight. I don't.
Why is Montreal better on the road, and why has home ice not mattered in these playoffs?
Crazy, right?
Yes.
I mean, especially playing in the Bell Center, that atmosphere, it's just so, it's breathtaking. It's amazing. It's alive. You don't even have to love hockey to feel like, oh my gosh, this is a temple. This is an amazing place. I want to put this on my bucket list and see a Canadiens playoff game at the Bell Center, right? But I just think they relax. And hockey is such a different animal than any other sport, right? With the NBA, obviously, home court means a lot, you would think. Even though the NBA, the Western Conference Final going on right now, the Spurs have won in OKC, and maybe they can win it in Game 7 and do the same. But hockey seems to be, it doesn't matter. I think it's just they seem to relax when you play on the road. That's what I think the situation is. You have a lot of pressure in front of the fans. Some players, some teams, it bothers them. Some it doesn't. It probably won't bother Carolina that much because they figure to win on the moon and on Mars. It doesn't really matter to them. They play just one way, and it's usually successful. But some players just feel comfortable on the road because they don't have that extra pressure.
So if you like Montreal tonight, I would assume that you give them a puncher's chance to come back and make it a really good series then.
That would be great. Maybe it's my heart, the love of hockey. I don't want to see yet the Cup final. I just want a little more drama in this Eastern Conference final. I'd like to see it. Montreal's such a great story, but if it doesn't tonight, the Canadiens don't have to hang their heads in despair. It was a great run for them. No one really expected they go this far. They found out who their number one goalie is, and Jakub Dobiš. He's amazing. They answered a lot of questions, but they still, they're just, on paper, obviously, they're not as good as Carolina, but they're not that far from Carolina. That's why I really feel they can win tonight. But will they win the series? Who knows? If you win tonight and you bring it back to Montreal, maybe they find their skating legs and they will get inspired by their fans to win a game at home. This is how hockey is, guys. So I'm sorry, I like the little storybook fairy tales. I always root for those.
Sure. So interesting what you said about Freddie, that it's a team effort and not great goaltending. So if it's game 1 on Tuesday, how would you see Vegas-Carolina series going?
Yeah, I like Vegas because of their goaltending, because of Carter Hart. As I mentioned, he's the best goalie left in these playoffs. He's been outstanding. I think he's a favorite for the Conn Smythe right now for the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, it's never too early to talk about that, especially on this show. I just think he's been playing. It's not like he's not, no goalie stops everything, but he's stopping the ones he has to stop at the right time. And he has had a major arsenal. I mean, this run by the Vegas Golden Knights, we all know what they did to the Colorado Avalanche, best team during the regular season, the President's Trophy winner. But they had a tough run from the get-go. Utah, and then the Ducks, and then Colorado. And Carter Hart has been the man throughout the whole way. He has carried the load. So because of the goaltending, if it is indeed Carolina-Vegas in the Stanley Cup final, I like the Golden Knights probably in like 6.
In like 6. And if it's a low-scoring series, then you're leaning towards Hart. But how would that go versus the story of Mitch Marner and how it never worked with Toronto? He comes to Vegas in his first year, now leading all of the playoffs in points.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be another guy right there and the front runner for the Conn Smythe, depending on what he does in the final. And I think it is between those two guys. If Mark Stone wasn't hurt early, I think you would have gotten more from him. You always have to throw a Jack Eichel in there as well, because of what he has meant to this team throughout this incredible playoff run for the Vegas Golden Knights. I think those three would be the guys, but the Mitch Marner story is incredible, right? Sorry, Maple Leafs fans, it happens. I grew up a Rangers fan. I can tell you of every decade a trade that the Rangers made that backfired, where that player went to the other team and was outstanding and basically Hall of Fame worthy. I mean, Carolina has one of those guys, Keandre Miller. Talented defenseman, used to be on the Rangers. He was okay with the Rangers, had one really super year. And then he goes to Carolina, and he's like, there's probably the second best defenseman next to Jakob Slavin. So, but getting back to Vegas and Mitch Marner, boy, we talked about relaxing, right? And not feeling the pressure. You feel the pressure when you're a Toronto Maple Leaf. Look at Austin Matthews. I think once Austin Matthews leaves the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's going to be a different player. Yeah, he'll still put the puck in the net. I know he put the puck in the net as a Maple Leaf, but carrying that weight, and that's what Mitchell Marner carried in Toronto. It's tough. These guys are young. We forget they're human beings, and they're young guys. It's a lot to handle. And you put them in a Toronto Maple Leaf uniform, and now you see him in Vegas, where, the Golden Knights are not the only game in town in Las Vegas. I don't have to tell you about that. So he could relax, and he's really having fun. I have never seen Mitch Marner smile as much as I've seen him smile in a Vegas Golden Knight uniform. I don't think I noticed him smiling once as a Maple Leaf.
Kudos to you for sticking by the Knicks after some lean years. Mitch brought this up earlier in the yesterday on the show. What's your level of concern if the Knicks win the title that New Yorkers might lose their minds?
Yeah. Can we talk about, fan bases? I always I'm a fan first, and people say, Linda, what's the secret to your longevity, all this? I always say, because I'm a fan first. That's why you still keep the passion. You don't become jaded. So half of the fan bases, it doesn't matter what team you root for. When it comes to this time, when your team is on the verge of a title, how many times do we see it? The fake fans come out of the woodwork, and there's a lot of woodwork in New York, little holes where usually insects are. They come out, they come in bunches, and they cannot be controlled. And that's how I feel with the Knick fan. I think a good percentage, sadly, of the, quote, fans you see now are not real Knick fans, not the loyal kind. Hey, even the young guys like the famous Timothy Chalamet, he's a loyal Knick fan, okay? But not all celebrities are like that. Ben Stiller, a loyal Knick fan. But these guys that are out but let's not typecast, let's not label. There are a lot of Knick fans out on the street who can afford a ticket to get into one of these games, not the average human. They're out there, they're in the streets, they're just excited. So I'm not labeling all of the guys and gals you see on the New York City streets fake fans, but there is a percentage, anywhere from 10 to 45% are fake.
Wow. Up to 45%.
It's a big number. A huge number.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh.
You are planting your flag on this one.
I do believe that, because they're looking for something. And then I'm not going to hate on them. I'm just saying, because they're looking for a team to cheer, a team that's so close to winning a championship. But they've come out of nowhere. I'd like to see their social media history. I'd like to see their tweets regarding the Knicks in the bad days. And what were their thoughts when they paid all that money to Jalen Brunson at the time? Were they happy with that? Remember those people who ripped that?
That is terrific.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah, no, nobody liked it, from what I recall.
Yeah.
Linda, that was awesome. I love having you go scorched earth like that. Thank you. Enjoy the game tonight, and best of luck to the Knicks in the NBA Finals.
Oh, yes. Thanks so much, and always thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Be good. There you go. Follow her on X, by the way, at Linda Cohn. How about that answer?
Strong.
Gacy.
It's a big number.
Door 1, door 2 up next. We will compare similar prices in different markets, trying to find a bet or two to make next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's time to play everyone's favorite Follow the Money game. Live from the VSiN studios.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
This is door number 1.
New high score! What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What's that mean? Did I break it?
Or door number 2.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Here's Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard.
All right, it's been too long. Excellent. Love it. Start. Door 1, Osaka wins the French Open, 45-1. Door 2, Montreal comes back down 3-1, 35-1.
Well, if I believe in what Linda Cohn was just saying,
no momentum in hockey.
And if I really am a buyer into fairy tales, which I am not, but she is, I would take the Canadians at 35-1. I would think absolutely give me Osaka, and then when you look at the draw, so we're talking about a possible draw here that could be Sabalenka into a combination of like either Madison Keys or Schneider into Goff or Anisimova, which would then potentially set her up for a championship match against Swiatek. If that's the path,
yeah.
I mean, you have to tip your cap and say that's an all-time run.
Yeah.
So give me the Canadians.
Really?
That's too difficult. I mean, Luke, again, loves tennis. He that's a lot.
Well,
that's a rough path.
Okay, when you're in this round or farther in the NHL, you're up 3-1, you're 72-1. Only the Devils in 2000 were able to come back.
I'll date myself with a Young Guns reference the very end. Kind of like our odds.
Okay. Yes.
Billy the Kid, it's 100 against 5.
All right. So she was kind of anti-Freddie Anderson. Wow.
Big time.
I was shocked by that. 3-1 to win the Conn Smythe, or the Aces win the WNBA title yet again. Plus 360. Becky Hammon ticked off at the officiating and the free throw disparity last night.
Oh, give me the Aces, man.
Getting Carter and how well she's played? And you got the best player in the world?
I'm glad she brought that up about Freddie, because, again, that's kind of what I said to you when I was asking the question about who to bet to win the Conn Smythe. I'm like, is it Anderson or is it somebody else? He's not seeing any shots.
Yeah, but they're going to win low-scoring games.
But
I can't give it to an offensive guy then, especially when you can't ignore his numbers, though, with 3 shutouts and holding everyone to 2 goals or fewer.
What if a defenseman shines in the Stanley Cup final for them? Could he win it? I mean, again, look at his saves so far in the series. The highest one is 18 it's like 10, 11, 12, 18.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing nothing. I'm not taking anything away. Well, it sounds like I am.
All right, that's okay.
But he's like, she flat out said Carter Hart multiple times best goalie in the playoffs so far, because he had a stretch where he's seen like 35 shots in some of those games.
Yeah.
And he had to stand on his head. Like, there's a big difference there. So, by the way, the Aces, that was a bad loss last night.
Yeah.
And the Wings had a couple of players out. They were joking around about food poisoning. And you're up by 8 at halftime. And Wilson stunk, and Young was terrible from the floor.
Yeah, she shot like 15 times in the first half.
Yeah, she was 4-14.
Yes.
Anyway,
okay.
give me the Aces there.
Carter Hart, Conn Smythe. Well, for this argument's sake, we'll use the 12-1. But there's a 27-1 out there. Or Caruso, Western Conference Finals MVP, now 15-1. And Tim Bontemps, ESPN, who has a vote, said he would give it to Caruso. Door 1, door 2.
You brought this up on the air yesterday, and you can explain it a little bit further if you would like. Will voters for the Conn Smythe say, I'm not sure I want to give it to that guy?
Yeah. With the off-the-ice incident and going back, and yes.
Could that play a role?
It's well documented.
So
I think so. That's going back, handicapping the voters. It's like we talk about with every time his name's brought up, would they give Deshaun Watson an award?
Yep. Again, I bring this up every single time.
It's like a feel-good story. It's what you want it to be.
We had an NFL awards voter say during the season that one year when Rodgers lied about getting
vaccinated.
He lied about getting vaccinated.
Right.
And he said, no, made up my mind in August. I'm not voting for him no matter what. And Rodgers won the MVP that year. He deserved it. He was amazing. So you never know how voters are going to go. So if you have that...
Well, it goes back to MVP year with LeBron, where multiple voters said, I like how he handled the tragedy with Kobe and such and that.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, they can grab and reach and use anything they want, it seems, to justify their vote.
Sure. So based on that, and you already have at least one voter saying you give it to Caruso, give me Caruso. Give me Caruso there.
Okay. Niners over 9.5 wins, minus 150, with the most miles traveled, door 1. Or Carolina wins the Cup, door 2, minus 150.
Well, give me Carolina because I don't want to wait that long for the 49ers bet. Also, are they good enough to win 10 games? If they stay healthy, but this has been a problem for the team for as long as we've been on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Every single year, other than one, it's been a major issue for the most part. So, and they also play in the most difficult division in football, well, at least with the two teams ahead of them. So give me Carolina because that would pay off.
I don't think they'll have Kittle week 1 by the sound of it either, what he said.
Yeah, that'd pay off for the next couple of weeks.
I will say, the guy who's lighting up camp, by the way, Egbuka. Maybe some great futures on that guy. He could have a monster season in Tampa Bay. With Evans gone?
Oh, yeah.
There's highlight reel catches all over social media with this guy every day.
Right, and he took off last year at the beginning of the season and
yes,
kind of faded down the stretch a little bit.
Wemby, Western Conference Finals MVP, plus 135. Mitch Marner, Conn Smythe, plus 165, door 2.
All right, well, if I just said give me the Canes minus 150 over the 49ers, I will go Wembanyama here, Western Conference Finals MVP at plus 135, because that would mean that Mitch Marner he's not winning the Conn Smythe of the Golden Knights. He's not had a Connor McDavid type postseason.
Right.
So the only way he's going to win the award is if the Golden Knights win it. And,
I don't think I don't think McMahon would throw that out there and bring it up unless he talked to other voters or talked to people about it as well. That could Wemby win if they lose in 7.
Interesting.
That's interesting he brought it up.
Maybe he's talking to people at these games. Maybe he's on text threads, whatever. Like, hey, are you guys thinking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should give it some more consideration because I think there's also that angle where it could pop that way at Wemby plus 135. What if he goes out there tomorrow night and he has, fill in the blank, 35, 12, and 8 blocks, and they lose in overtime by 2 points. And SGA is ho-hum and Caruso doesn't go nuclear at all. It's a team effort from the Thunder. How do you say this guy's not the MVP of the series?
It's going to be a tough vote. I think it's a tough vote because SGA has bad numbers.
We had this in the notes, by the way, but now we've got to change because we've had so many upsets in the French. We can maybe fill in the blank here with a guy with similar numbers now, but we had it earlier today. Novak Djokovic to win the French or Jacob Mizorowski to win the NL Cy Young. Both were on similar numbers, but so give me Mizorowski because Djokovic is out.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to throw another French Open guy out there because he's probably going to lose by the end of the show.
255, 210, 280, 450, and 940 have lost today.
Yeah, sure.
On the heels of what Sinner did.
So how about this one? The field to win the National League MVP versus Ohtani. There's no price on that yet, but there will be soon somewhere.
Okay.
Or Cam Schlittler plus 110 to win the AL Cy Young. A lot of baseball left.
Oh.
You get every other player in the National League.
I don't want it.
You take Schlittler?
I don't want. It's Ohtani's award.
What if he bats 219?
I don't care.
14 home runs.
Well, come on. He's not.
Well, I'm saying, what if?
What if he has an ERA under 1?
But yeah, and he goes on and wins the Cy Young.
That, yes. It's very much in play.
It's
historic what he's doing to the start on the mound.
I think I would take the field. Because, again,
boy, I know.
Matt Vasgersian had a great breakdown on Schlittler yesterday. He's never pitched, the innings. Right now he's on pace for more than 200 innings, a number that he has never come close to reaching before. And you have 4 months of baseball left. Like, are these numbers sustainable until August, September? Like, he's going to get lit up at some point, right?
I know. That's a tough question. I know. I just...
But then you also looked on the list of players in the National League, and you're like, it's going to be Ohtani. He's going to win it again.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking home the award.
What's Wembanyama open at next year? What's that?
It's already available.
Is it?
Yeah, he's 2-1.
Plus? That's it?
Yeah.
That's got to... He's only going to get better and improve.
And I can tell you this right now.
And I tell you that John Anthony reaches out every day because he's got those Wemby cards.
Oh, yeah, the cards.
And he's said on our show with the guy, not the one-on-one that goes for $5 million, but he's saying if this guy lights it up, wins MVP, and they win the title, the price of his rookie cards. Oh.
I'll give you a prediction. And I actually think this is unfair. There will be MVP media and maybe voters next year going into the season who will say that about SGA. Can't give him the award.
Sure.
And they will look elsewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
Much like it played out the year that Nikola Jokic should have won 3 in a row, and they somehow gave it to Joel Embiid, who did not deserve it at all over Joker that year. But that's how it works. Today's MLB card is coming up next, including all of these matchups that factor in to most wins in the month of May. That's next here on VSiN.